Is there any possible way that Canelo can lose and potentially get knocked out by Edgar Berlanga? Well, absolutely not. But if there was, I would say it's because of two things: power, strength. That's about it. The only things that Berlanga has at his disposal. Now, granted, I will say this: Berlanga in his last fight against McCoy showed better defense, showed better patience. He showed a better willingness and IQ to do what was necessary instead of always looking for the KO outright and being stupid. Was more methodical, was able to actually think inside of the ring. His best fight of his career to date. He's got a fast jab. He's got fast hands in general. Has power. Yes, he does. That's undeniable. And he's learned somewhat. But that's all he's got against Canelo. Everything else, he's a bum. This brother, when it comes to Canelo, can do nothing to fight and win. You know why? Because his problems are almost too many to count. Even with the improvements that he's made. What does he do? His defense has so many holes in his game. He can get caught with the jab to the body or to the head because he doesn't keep his guard tight. He doesn't move his head in the slightest when he goes on defense. Everything about him is all offensive. If he jumps back, he doesn't really have great footwork. He's got great athletic ability. What does that mean? You throw a jab and you feint at him. He will jump back 5 feet into his own corner and take away whatever real estate he got in a fight. And he'll do that constantly. And he will bite on everything, especially if you're a punching threat. He will bite on everything. There is so much that this brother does that just irks me to the core. Consistently, he will put himself to the ropes. If you just feint at him, you wink at him, he'll still jump 3 feet away immediately. He gets out of range of everything, which I get if you want to be defensive, but even still, you give up so much real estate that now you got to work to get it back. Especially if somebody comes forward to you, now you're stuck at the ropes. Speaking of being stuck at the ropes, the brother can't get off the ropes. Again, he's athletic, doesn't have any footwork. The man has never been able to get out of the ropes and get back to safety with his feet. If he gets in the corner, he will cower. He will look to counter, don't get me wrong, but he will be cowering in terms of only shelling up and doing nothing else and just take punishment or try to clinch. And against Canelo, we know that's not going to work because if he gets you in the corner constantly, like he loves to stalk people down, you will be a piece of meat against a lion like Canelo. You will see the same thing we saw from Jermell Charlo, and Jermell Charlo had the excuse of I'm 154 moving up to 168. Hey, I just can't take the power. All I can do is cower. Edgar Berlanga is the same size as this brother, and he still can't do a doggone thing because he's a bum. That's what all this boils down to. He's a bum. Outright bum. It's horrible. Every single time. He overcommits on his punches. If you make him miss, you will have all the time in the world to pay. Granted, again, the hand speed, understandable. It's there. But my gosh, the openings after he throws is copious in many. And you can get caught and knock him down. In fact, people that don't have power have knocked him down and stunned him, because of the fact that they caught him when he was off balance. On top of his offensive game plan, he's one-dimensional. Doesn't even throw out his jab a whole bunch, even though he has a decent jab with his hand speed. It can be a strong jab. It could be a stiff jab. He doesn't use it at all. He will look for that left hook to counter you, and then after that, he will just go for big shots. Again, quick hands, but still big shots. And the problem with Berlanga most of all, or two problems actually. Number one, he fights dirty if you get him frustrated. Oh yeah, you start clench him up and get him mad. He'll elbow you like he elbowed McCoy. He'll bite your ear or bite your arm, bite something like he did in the last fight where he got suspended for it. Oh yeah, Mike Tyson ain't the only one that got a taste for flesh. No, Edgar Berlanga does. And he will fight dirty. He will fight reckless. He will go low multiple times. And you do that against Canelo, well, now you're awakening another slumbering beast. A Canelo that wants to win is a whole dominant force. A Canelo that wants to end you is a completely different animal entirely. A mad Canelo is insane. Look at what he did to James Kirkland. That's what a mad Canelo would do. Problem number two. If Berlanga cannot fight going forward, he loses almost all of his offensive ability. If he cannot fight moving forward, he has no way, shape, or form of fighting on the back foot. There is nothing he can do outside of a check left hook that he has at his disposal to fight on the back foot while being pressured. His power and strength are what he relies on to get in and to be able to impose his will. You take that away from him, like Canelo will be able to do, because he's much stronger than Berlanga, much faster than Berlanga, much more sharper than Berlanga, a lot more accurate than Berlanga, and a lot more just outright a better fighter than Berlanga. You take that away from Berlanga, he becomes a sitting duck. Again, cower in the corner and run the ropes, succumbing to pressure that isn't even there. All because he's so adamant on getting so far out of danger that once he gets his back to the ropes, well, he doesn't know how to get out. You get somebody that can cut off the ring like Canelo, end him, will destroy Edgar Berlanga. This fight is such a horrid situation. Berlanga has no footwork, nowhere close to any level of offensive or defensive or just boxing IQ as a whole. Doesn't have any ring generalship. Is so one-dimensional, it's painful. And for all the talk that he has, he can't back it up. We know he can't back it up. When he went up against better competition, he didn't back anything up because he won, but none of us were impressed because it was like, what happened? Where'd that power go all of a sudden? Now, even in your wins, we're like, ooh, that wasn't a good win. That is what Edgar Berlanga is. He is a statue built on the bricks of the past because the current foundation is failing. That is what Edgar Berlanga is. He is a bona fide scrub and a bum when it comes to the next generation of boxing. Yes, he is. I have no problem saying that because that's what he's shown. His undefeated record is a lie on his actual ability. And I hate the fact that he's getting this opportunity over other people who should be able to be much more inclined to have an opportunity to fight. Canelo. And Canelo is going to destroy Berlanga in less than 5 rounds. I'll call it round 5 outright. Do not be surprised if he gets knocked out in 2. If Canelo doesn't want it to go for long, and with all the talk that Berlanga's been talking, he just wants to get him out of there, he can end this fight in 2 rounds. We can see a Mike Tyson level of destruction and performance. Or if he wants to toy with Berlanga all night long, get him frustrated, get him mad, make him look like a fool to where everybody looks at him as a laughing stock of boxing, he'll stretch it out to about 6 and then knock him out. I don't see this fight going past 7. I guarantee that. My pick, knockout in round 5. Honestly, off of a left hook by Canelo and or an uppercut and or a right hand. One of those 3 punches. Because those are the things that can get Berlanga. Canelo will eat him alive and destroy Berlanga in round 5. If Berlanga somehow shocks the world, this will be the biggest upset since Ruiz versus AJ. This might be on par with Tyson versus Buster Douglas. This bum of a fighter goes and beats Canelo. That's just, my gosh, that would rock the entire boxing world and put Canelo on take Canelo off that pedestal. This would be so detrimental. We would actually be looking at Canelo differently, so much differently. Yeah, don't fight Benavidez now because now we know you couldn't beat him if you lose to this bum, this scrub, this absolute horrible fighter in Edgar Berlanga. There's nothing that he has going for him. Nothing that Berlanga has outside of power and strength and a left hook. Because of that, he'll get caught, he'll get dropped, he'll get destroyed. And Canelo will end that brother in 5 rounds. Guarantee it.